r/coronavirus. Sanders proposes giving $2,000 per month to every household amid coronavirus outbreak. If you enjoy the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel to help save a white dog from the coronavirus. Senator Bernie Sanders proposed giving every household in America a check for $2,000 each month, as part of a laundry list of recommendations to curb the impacts of the coronavirus outbreak. Speaking via live stream, Sanders outlined a $2 trillion list of proposals he would bring to Democratic leadership, centered around protecting workers in various industries. "We need to provide a direct $2,000 cash payment to every household in America for the duration of the crisis, to provide them with the assistance they need to pay their bills and take care of their families," Sanders said in the middle of his lengthy list of propositions. The policy pegs a specific figure to a cash assistance proposal that is gaining increasing popularity on Capitol Hill, as Washington scrambles to cobble together legislation to dig workers and businesses out of a deepening economic hole, resulting from lost business amid the coronavirus outbreak. In laying out his plans, Sanders touted the need for unprecedented investments to combat the growing economic meltdown, which will impact tens of millions of workers in this country as officials fight the lethal health risks from the virus. The main point to be made tonight is that in this moment of crisis, it is imperative that we stand together, understand that right now, throughout this country, there are so many of our people wondering, what is going to happen to me now? Said Sanders. Sanders's proposals largely centered around expanding people's access to health care and boosting government assistance to help pay for medical costs. Among other things, the Vermont Progressive proposed empowering Medicare to cover all medical bills during the coronavirus emergency, ensuring all hospitals have the ventilators and other tools necessary to treat patients, massively boosting the number of test kits available, scaling up the production of face masks and other materials, and ensuring that an eventual cure is sold free of charge. Sanders also pushed for assistance to prevent small and medium-sized businesses from going under, ensuring workers who are laid off continue getting paychecks, and mandating that unemployment insurance applies to every single worker in America. "We must make certain that the government is getting this money into the hands of working families, and the most vulnerable, as quickly as possible," said Sanders. Sanders recognized that not every proposal on the list would be accepted, and that congressional leaders would likely examine the suggestions as they look at broader legislative remedies. "Now we're throwing out a lot of ideas, and when you deal with the United States Congress, you don't get everything that you want," he said. "There will be a picking and a choosing, here and there." Sanders's address comes as Capitol Hill patches together a stimulus effort to dull the economic impacts of the coronavirus spread, the brunt of which have been borne by the hospitality, restaurant and other industries. The Trump administration is seeking a roughly $850 billion economic stimulus package from Congress, in order to address the economic fallout of the coronavirus. The proposal includes payments to small business, and loan guarantees to critical industries such as airlines and hotels, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin told reporters Tuesday. $2,000 per house, or $1,000 per adult. Duration is really the unknown. Pausing mortgage payments, and stopping interest on credit cards for 12 months would make a huge difference. No need to do any of those things, if you just hand out cash and let people prioritize what they need to. I have a high rent to pay, but can't work thanks to this situation. Other people have a paid-off house, but need to feed their kids. Just give everyone $1,000 per month, for as long as any quarantine measures are being advised." Done. Edit. To anyone saying $1,000 isn't enough, I agree. It should be $1,000 per month in perpetuity, and somewhere between $2,000 to $4,000 during this situation. But we need to take what we can get. And no, adjusting for cost of living makes no sense. If it did, I'm driving to San Francisco tomorrow and getting a Cali license and enjoying $5,000 per month. This is why they are doing it. It would be too complicated and take too long to create rule sets for individual circumstances. Just cutting everyone a check is the easiest, fastest, most equal solution. Wow, that's more than I make now. I'll take it. I generally wonder, if it were $2,000 per month, tax-free, how many people still being forced to work in these suddenly essential minimum wage jobs of fast food drive-through, gas station attendants and grocery store stocker cashier would continue to work, and instead of taking the money and a vacation, and not having to deal with the crazy hoarders and craziness in fast food and being still subjected to catching the virus. Overnight custodian at a grocery store here. My job has sort of become essential. I'd probably stick with it, but they're running us into the ground right now. I've started treating it like a public service, and it helps. Unlimited overtime is nice and all, but I just had a team leader break down on me sobbing last night. We're worn the fuck out. Please stop panic buying everything, we can't keep up. And stop dripping nastiness all over my floors, you goddamn animals. I've made a point to thank each and every store employee I come across over the last week. I live in the Bay Area, and people have gotten desperate with the escalating number of cases and the shelter-in-place ordinance. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on the front lines, keeping us all fed. That, although expensive, would actually serve some good to a huge number of families. A one-time $1,000 may. The current bailout stimulus is $850 billion, right? $850 billion divided by $350 million is more than $2,000, it's about $2,400. All this does is restructure the bailout to be bottom-up, rather than top-down. It's not a bailout, it's a stimulus package, and the dispensing of cash is only part of it. $2,000 for each family isn't going to magically fix the economy, if there's no businesses when this is all over. If you give each family $2,000, they go out and spend it. Spending money is the goal of a stimulus package. You say it won't work, but that's literally what FDR did with the New Deal after the Great Depression. Jobs for everyone, paid for by the government. People got to work, made money, spent money, and it stimulated the economy. You must remember that we don't have a lot of avenues to spend the money right now. The $2,000 would go towards necessities. Widespread discretionary spending will have to wait until the virus is no longer a threat. Don't have a lot of avenues to spend money? Are you kidding me? Everything that you need to spend money on is more expensive at the moment. Delivery is not cheap. Bills are not cheap when you don't have a paycheck. Living in quarantine requires things to keep you busy without losing your mind. There is a reason Amazon is working overtime to hire people, to keep up with the demand. I cannot stress how much I need this. I have 2 jobs, and lost one of them today. I work in a Kroger store, and still have that job, but not many hours in my department. My other job was at an escape room that just shut down. I definitely don't have enough to pay rent and stuff if nothing happens. I had to completely shut my business. My income just dropped to 0. I'm the owner and it's just me. So I don't qualify for unemployment. I need something for sure. So many people do. Good luck to you, really. I'm in the same boat. My main job shut down, and my other job only lets me work 10 hours a week, for $9 an hour. I'm generally conservative, but I've long thought that a direct guaranteed income is just a more efficient, and honest way of getting society's wealth to those individuals facing undue suffering, for a lack of personal wealth. Shame over taking a handout led us to complicate it all with minimum wages, and assistance programs and unemployment insurance and such, and I'm not saying those are all failures, some are, but really, let's decide what the number is, get the tax revenue we need for it in the least harmful way, and give everyone there. Ain't it great to be an American check? We better at least do something like that right now. I got 4 young kids. I don't want rioters at my door when huge swaths of people have no income and no food. By then, it will be too late to stabilize things with a handout. The main problem is that once we put it into place, every single political cycle will demand it grow and grow. It will never be enough and no one will ever be considered to have paid their fair share. If we can't put some hard mathematical and scientific constraints on it, politics will turn it into the destroyer of our world. Excuse me, but where in the piss is that much money going to come from? Giving $1,000 to each adult in the US, with roughly 210 million people over the age of 18 in the nation, will cost $210 billion. Now, that's a fuck ton of money, but it's a 1 or 2 time thing if you believe Mitt, Munchin, etc. and I'd rather see that happen, than have more corporate welfare get shoveled to Boeing or other companies. But $2,000 per month per household? A Google search said there are 128 million households. Okay, fine, that's $24,000 per year, multiplied by 128 million. The result is $3 trillion if we do this for 12 months. $250 billion a month, every month. Bernie's math works on millennials, who can't balance a checkbook, or complete a 1040 without TurboTax, and have zero idea of the massive difference between a million, billion, and trillion of something. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below for more daily content.